Hello and welcome to another story time. Today I want to share with you a story that is new to our collection called Winter Sleep, a hibernation story by Sean Taylor and Alex Morse. When it was summer, I stayed at Granny Sylvie's house. She knows lots of things, like the names of flowers and how to spot a deer's hoofprint. And where to splash around the pond, climb a slope of green ferns, pass through oak trees with moss on one side, and find the secret glade. Butterflies fluttered even though it was late. Granny Sylvie helped me listen for songs of different birds. It was still warm. We stayed right into the summer magic of the night. And we kept so still, we saw the dormouse who lives there run up a hazel tree. When I went back to stay with Granny, it was winter. I asked her, "Can we go to the secret glade?" She said, "Yes, if you can find it." Everything was different. The pond was frozen hard. The ferns on the slope looked dead. The oak trees with moss on one side were all bony. And the glade was quiet and bare. It wasn't anything the same. No butterflies, no flowers, no birds. I wanted to see the dormouse, but Granny said the dormouse will be having a winter sleep. It was too cold to stay, and I said, "Nothing's alive in winter." Granny Sylvie told me, "It is." We can't see the dormouse, but she's hiding here. She'll be safely, deeply sleeping all winter long. This is her hibernation time. In autumn, she feasted on forest nuts, fruits, and insects. Then the long nights came. She felt cold, heavy, and sleepy. There was nothing more to eat, so she made a nest ball, and she's inside, secretly snoring until the spring sun warms her body again. On the way back, I asked, "Are there other animals hiding in the trees?" Granny said, "Yes, lots of bats hibernate in trees. On warm nights, they fly across the forest, chasing insects and pulling spiders from webs. But even their food rests in the winter, so bats snuggle up in a hollow trunk or cave and snooze through the frosty weather." I said, "Where do all the insects go?" Granny told me, "Some are sleeping right under your feet. The ground is frozen hard, but down below there are stag beetles waiting to come out. The queen bumblebee sleeps in a tiny tunnel. Some moths and butterflies hide underground, often wrapped up, waiting for spring. Mother earwigs look after their eggs until they hatch when spring comes." We were coming to the pond, so I asked, "What about in the water?" Granny said, "There's ice on top of the pond life, but pond life waits below. Before it froze, frogs dived down deep into slimy mud. Now they are still and breathing so slowly, they seem dead. But when the water warms up in the spring, we'll hear them croaking again." I said, "So all sorts of animals are having a winter sleep." "That's right. Granny Sylvie told me. Some even make a special home for winter. A bear builds a den deep in the woods, perhaps in a cave, an old tree trunk, or hidden hollow. Mommy Bear slows right down and rests there with her cubs, curled up tight on a bed she's made from soft moss, twigs, and leaves. Granny Sylvie was still telling me about the animals in winter when I was in bed. You see, she told me, there's plenty of life tucked up, hiding in the cold. I nodded. I could feel the cozy magic of the dark night outside. And even though it wasn't very late, I closed my eyes for a winter sleep. The end. I hope you all enjoyed that new story about hibernation, and I'll see you again next week for another one.